26th, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. on every screen, speaker and earpiece in Kenya.
Kupata mithali 6:20 kama sikiza tune kwenye simu yako, bonyeza *811 *817 hash.
Methali 6:20. Mwanangu, shika maagizo ya baba yako, wala usisahau mafundisho ya mama yako. Yaweke daima moyoni mwako, yafunge shingoni mwako, yatakuongoza njiani mwako, yatakulinda wakati ulalapo.
Kupata mithali 6:20, bonyeza *811 *817 hash. *811 *817 hash.
All I do is win. I wake up, I win. I close my eyes, and I win.
We got a emergency, girlfriend.
Keep up on me, come on, let's go. Keep winning till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'ma keep winning till the world stops.
Wow, you look great. Did you just come from the salon?
Darling Abuja, braids that stay salon fresh no matter what.
Good afternoon. Thank you for creating time for us. You are in time for the Lunchtime News. My name is Irene Muchuma. On sign language interpretation, we have Lancer Odingo. 25 days to the August polls, and political leaders continue to traverse the country. This as we ask you this afternoon, how prepared are you as a voter ahead of the August polls? Do interact with us on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. Now, we begin from the Uhuru Gardens, where President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to officiate the opening of the Uhuru Gardens Museum. My colleague Kamche Menza is on standby with more details this ahead of the opening. Kamche, good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon to you back in studio. Irene Muchuma Odim. And like you said, we are coming to you live from the Uhuru Gardens, National Museums and Monument. Today there is a state event dubbed a Media Day at the Uhuru Gardens, National Museums and Monument. And basically what is going to happen this afternoon, it is an event that is led by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Robert Kibochi, and will be presided over by the head of state, President Uhuru Kenyatta. And basically what it entails is that the media practitioners from different media houses have been brought on board, and there will be a familiarization tour. Remember, this is a museums and monument center, or other facility. There are different galleries for the museums as well as a monument, and of course the media practitioners will be, of course, taken around. It is a familiarization tour for them to be able to understand what exactly this facility entails and what exactly Kenyans out there should expect. Remember, it is a facility that has been in the public domain for quite a while. It is expected to be open to the public later in the course of the year, but not so much is out there for the public. Before the official opening of this facility in November, the military have opted to, bring the media on board to try and familiarize them on basically what is in this particular facility. And this afternoon, that is what will be taking place, a showcase of the different galleries within this point, a showcase of the different monuments within this place. For example, where I'm standing right now, this is a monument referred to as the Tomb of the Unknown Warriors. And as you can see right behind me is a flame. It is referred to as an eternal flame. This flame will remain on to commemorate the lives of all the warriors who have fought for Kenya's liberation. We understand that according to the Heroes Act, it's not just the heroes who fought for the country that will, whose names will be published here, but of course, the Heroes Act also recognizes the heroes of Kenya who have made a difference or an impact for the country in different aspects. So basically what you can see on your screens right now, this is an altar to the unknown warriors who have died for one nation. There are names that have been put on the walls of this particular monument. There is one, if I could read, there is one for Honorable Professor Wangari Maathai, there is one for Honorable Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, there's also for Martin Shikuku. So these are some of the names that when Kenyans or when the public comes out to visit this place, these are some of the warriors that they will be able to see on this particular tomb. But remember, this is just one of the monuments. There are so many monuments in this particular facility, as well as galleries that entail Kenya's history, a rich history which is so significant to the country. Remember, this is a facility that was commissioned on the 31st of May, preceding the Madaraka Day for this particular year. And according to President Uhuru Kenyatta, is that this particular facility will converge the past, the present, and the future for the Kenya and its citizens as well. It is a house, it is a garden that houses Kenya's history and legacy of different patriots. So basically, today what is happening is that it is a familiarization tour for the different media houses. Already, right now, all the invited guests from the different media houses have arrived at this particular place. They are already inside the amphitheater where there will be the showcasing, a virtual showcasing of all the galleries within this facility, of all the monuments within this facility, the significance they hold for this particular country. And of course, later on, then the media practitioners will be taken into the galleries and different monuments for them to see. And of course, it is an event that is expected to be an eye-opener to so many Kenyans. Of course, remember, so much is known about this particular place, but it's still not open to the public. So basically, this is a start of opening up this particular area, and President Uhuru Kenyatta will be presiding over this event. Basically, KBC will be taking our viewer through this event live from this particular area, and viewers can be assured of a smooth transition from this particular point to the newsroom. Back to you in studio, Muchuma.
Thank you, Kamche. We are looking forward to that. This as the Uhuru Gardens Museums also hosts the military gallery, where it showcases the military items that were used from the colonial times. We'll be linking up with Kamche later on, right here on KBC Channel 1. Now, as we get into politics, I beg your pardon, it is 14 days to the next general election and not 25 days. A section of politicians and residents of Moya Sub-County in Embu has condemned violence meted out on one of their own, allegedly by a gubernatorial candidate and her supporters. The leaders alleged that the local was assaulted for holding a divergent view on political leadership in the county. They condemned the incident and called for investigations, even as they challenged the political leaders to engage in peaceful campaigns.
Wale bodyguards wake na wafuazi wake waliweza kutufahamia katika hiyo gari ya Mheshimiwa Musakwa, tukiwa kwa hiyo gari, na wakaweza kutupiga sana. Mimi walinipiga sana, wakaniumiza hii kichwa, mimi singeweza hata kuinuka. Nimeumizwa sana kwa hiyo kichwa, nilipigwa sana, na niliweza kuidentify watu wawili na waliweza kunipiga na wakagrabu mfuko wangu, simu ilikuwa hapo ya Tekno wakachukua, na pesa zilikuwa kwa mfuko wakachukua.
Waliingia, walifungua gari ya mheshimiwa, wakavamia Mwema, wakampiga kipigo kabisa, kichwa kila mahali. In fact nilikuwa na plead na wao, hata mheshimiwa hatukuchukulia kama inaweza kuwa jambo mbaya, neither did I knew kama kulikuwa na jambo kama lile. Alikuwa ameongea mambo fulani, hata alikuwa anasema mimi nimekutusi nini. So Mwema alijaribu kujitetea pale, lakini ikawa hakuweza.
Kama kuna mmoja wetu anafikiria vita ndio itampatia kiti, nataka kuambia wasiwazi, ndio kiti itapotea zaidi. Ukipiga Mwema leo, upige Leni Kivuti kesho, upige mwingine, kila mtu unapiga, kura inapotea 1,000.
Religious leaders in Mombasa County under the umbrella of Mombasa Pastors Fellowship have called for peaceful campaigns ahead of the next general election. Speaking during a peace and prayer rally in Mikindani, Jomvu Sub-County on Sunday, the pastors urged residents to be wise and shun leaders from politicizing issues that are meant for political development. The meeting brought together pastors, officers from the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission and security officers. They advocated for peace during the elections, calling on voters to remain vigilant and in unison with one another.
We are also appealing to the conscience of the people, kwamba tunapoingia katika uchaguzi huu tujue kwamba uchaguzi ni kitu ya siku moja, lakini bado sisi tutaendelea kukaa pamoja na majirani zetu, ndugu zetu, dada zetu, and therefore we should approach it with a very sober mind, with consciences that are clear.
Tunashukuru sana katika hii mkutano kwa sababu bila amani na sisi IBC hatutaweza kufanya kura kwa amani. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru sana, tuzidi kuhamasisha wananchi waweze kumaintain amani, ndio pia sisi kama IBC tuweze kupata wakati mzuri wa kuweza ku carry out election itakapofika tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8.
We are saying that we are ready to secure the members of this sub-county, and they should not be worried as we end always we near the electioneering date. So we are prepared. The government has supported us in different ways through trainings, and we are equipped to handle the forthcoming election.
A section of religious leaders from Samburu County has warned politicians against propagating division in the region, led by Father Henry Kaziama of Wamba Catholic Parish. The leaders urged residents to maintain peace during this electioneering period.
It is a 4-kilometer walk, bringing together residents of Samburu County, drawn from different areas and denominations, united for one cause, their quest for peace before, during and after elections.
We want to tell also young people, tafadhali, msikubali mtu yeyote akupee pesa ama ili uweze kumwangamiza mtu mwingine. Please, we need peace.
Siasa inakuja ikipita. Yule ndugu yako atabaki kuwa ndugu yako, fanya biashara, unafanya naye biashara. Yule ambaye unashiriki naye kwa dini ama kwa kanisa, unaona naye kwa mosque ama mnashiriki naye kanisani, atabaki kuwa ndugu yako.
Leaders who led the peace walk using the opportunity to warn political leaders against propagating divisive politics.
Wakae kwa amani, wafanya kazi yao ya kuomba kura kwa amani na wasishoshe wananchi.
Their warning coming amidst calls for the government to beef up security in the area to create a conducive environment for residents to fully participate in the elections.
Hapa kuna ukame, watu wanakaa njaa, watu wapate chakula ili tupate amani. Maana unaona hata utofu wa amani unaletwa na vijana wetu ambao wako na njaa kule msituni, hakuna kitu cha kukula, ndio wanakuja huku wakitafuta kitu ya kula. Jambo la pili, to beef up security agents around. tuwe na maaskari, tuongezewe maaskari watakao survey hii area ili tukuwe na amani.
Safin Achieng Oma, Lunchtime News.
Now, the Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate is at the Nyayo National Stadium, this as he is meeting a section of bodaboda operators who have since raised concerns on the issue of licensing and opening of a circle that is able to cater for their needs. Let's cross over and listen in.
Ni kazi kama zingine, nasema ukweli, nani anipinge? Madereva boda ni watu kasisi, wana haso kabisa kusaka shilingi. Imeshika mjini, imeshika mashinani, inashuka mabondi, inapanda milimani. Wa mama inabeba kwenda sokoni, watoto inabeba kwenda shuleni, wagonjwa inabeba kwenda hospitali. Tukienda safari haikosi, imefanya vijana waache kusopa, jijenge kimaisha, waache kupora. Ukweli
Asante sana. Asante. Ni kuombe Kevin uende moja kwa moja. Asante sana. Boda boda power. Boda boda power. Boda boda ria. Boda boda mumeona baba? Si ndio huyu? Huyu si baba mwenyewe? Amekuja kukaa na nyinyi. Aya, kumbe ni boda boda ni power. So kabla niendelee, nataka kuintroduce ofisi yangu. Kuna watu wawili ambao nitaita wakuja waongee hapa. Chairman baba, leo vile tuko hapa, tuko na chairman from across the country, wamekuja kukaa na wewe kusikia manifesto yako, na nimewaita kwa sababu wewe umesema utashika watu wa bodaboda, na mimi nikasikia manifesto yako na nikasema nitashika wewe mkono. Lakini mimi peke yangu ukiniambia, pengine watasema ulinidanganya. Sasa nimewaleta uambie wewe mwenyewe ana kwa ana. Si mnataka hivyo? Si mnataka kuona baba akiwaambia mwenyewe? Si yeye mwenyewe anataka aombe kura? Bas, sasa nimemleta leo mkae na yeye. My first speaker ni my treasurer ambaye ni regional chair wa Central Region, Bwana Nderitu. Karibu dakika moja tu.
The pictures on your screen are coming live from the Nyayo National Stadium, where the Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga is meeting a section of bodaboda riders who have since also expressed interest in supporting his candidature. We have an able team on the ground and we will let you know as events unfold. In other matters, over 10,000 residents of Mombasa constituency in Kisii County suffering from various ailments have benefited from a free medical camp held in different wards after a team of 120 medics volunteered to provide free medical consultation. Speaking during the medical camp, Dr. Catherine Nyabuto of the Kenyatta National Hospital said it was their joy to give back to the community and make healthcare services available to the people at the grassroots.
Na kila mtu mwenye amekuja ni kwa ajili ya watu wetu, ni kwa sababu tunapenda watu wetu, hivyo ndio tumejitolea sisi wote kuja kufanya kazi hapa. Sisi wote tukakuja sasa, badala ya kupeleka watu Kenyatta, tutengenezee watu hospitali hapa.
I realized that our people sometimes can die because they don't have the medicine. They don't get treatment. That's why I came up with this idea that let us give our people free treatment, free medicine.
Migori County security officers have launched investigations into a shooting incident involving former Nyatike Member of Parliament, Edick Anyanga, that left one person nursing injuries. County Police Commander Mark Wanjala is now calling for the respect of the law and warned locals against political violence.
The police boss said that they did not recover any spent cartridge from the scene. However, they recovered a firearm with 12 rounds of ammunition from the former lawmaker. Nyatike constituency Member of Parliament Honorable Tom Odege condemned the incident and termed it as an act of political intolerance. He said such acts of violence are barbaric and outdated and called on the security organs to crack down violent individuals ahead of the August elections.
We cannot allow people to carry law into their hands and frustrate very innocent youths in our area. It's very encouraging the way they have taken action on whatever has happened, because the first thing they confiscated the weapon. Now they are moving on to record statements from all the witnesses.
Anyaga has however refuted the claim, saying that he shot in the air to disperse a gang that had intercepted him on his way home.
And I'm appealing to Matiang'i and his team to investigate this matter fully. Why should a candidate be cornered at exactly midnight when I'm going to my place?
For Lunchtime News, I am Bessa Kuria.
China has launched the Wentian, the first lab module of its space station. Wentian rocketed into orbit atop the giant Long March 5B Y3 carrier from the Wenchang spacecraft launch site on the coast of the southern island province of Hainan.
The Wentian module is 17.9 meters long with a maximum diameter of 4.2 meters and a takeoff mass of 23 tons, according to Liu Gang, Deputy Chief Designer of the China Manned Space Program Space Station System with the China Academy of Space Technology. The cabin Wentian is mainly for studies on space life sciences. It is equipped with scientific cabinets that can support experiments on life and ecology, biotechnology, as well as comparative studies of biological growth mechanisms under varying gravity conditions. Meanwhile, the just launched Wentian lab module, the first lab module for China's space station Tiangong, unfurled its solar panels for rendezvous and docking, according to the China Manned Space Agency. The Wentian lab module opened its solar panels in 2 steps. In the first step, solar wings were unfolded to 6.5 meters at each side of the lab module, a length less than 1/3 of the full length of a single solar panel. The solar panels were firstly unlocked from the wall of the lab module and then erected. After that, wings on each side would unfold into 2 halves before the panels were released and spread out into full length. The solar panels on the Wentian lab module are flexible, a 3rd generation of the solar panels. They are light, foldable and thin, so they do not take much space. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
The role of a senator and the office mandate in the running of county affairs has been the subject of debate in parts of Kilifi County. A section of members of the Jibana community say they feel left out in public discourse about the progress of devolution and oversight.
Asha Mwarumba, a resident of Kaloleni, Kilifi County, says she will vote but does not clearly understand the roles of the leaders she will be electing.
Watoto wetu wanazaa tu ovyo ovyo hapa na kwa single mothers, kwa sababu mtu anamaliza 8 na anakaa nyumbani, hana college, hana nini. Watoto wetu wanatafuna mgokaa humu mabarabarani na mabodaboda kwa sababu hakuna wa kuwashika mkono. Mimi kama mkazi wa Jibana, ninalotaka mimi angalie watoto wetu elimu. Tukifika ofisini tupate basari, atuangalilie na maji, atuangalilie na mahitaji mengine huku chini. Kama sisi wakina mama tunaumia sana.
Margaret Ponda says that despite visiting the area in search of votes, politicians have lost touch with the grassroots and are only focused on their self-interests.
Kama ni maji, hakuna maji, mama wanalala visimani mpaka tuseme hiyo miaka 10 yameenda, basi kutakuwa hakuna watoto wa nasari, maana mama wanalala visimani. Na hizo ndo kazi zake. Kama ni hospitali, tunatoka kilomita 10 tunafuata hospitali, tukifika hakuna madawa, wa mama wanazaa njiani. Sasa huyo current senator alikuja omba kura kweli, lakini hatujui kazi zake zilikuwa ni gani. Sisi hatuelewi, maana kama ni ugawi wa pesa, yende baba wa pesa, hakutujali sisi wakazi wa Kaloleni. Matarajio yetu ni atende vizuri, vyenye atahidi wananchi wa Kaloleni Jibana atengeze hivyo.
Locals feel that there is a need to sensitize on the functions of various offices and the importance of public participation. For Lunchtime News, I'm Juliet Njoroge.
The government is planning to launch various activities to reduce deforestation and charcoal burning in Kilifi County. Cutting down of trees and the burning of charcoal has become a chronic problem in the area, a situation attributed to poverty and overdependence on charcoal as a source of energy.
At the launch of the energy production program in Kilifi, Chief Energy Officer Kilifi County Wilfred Bayer said the government has already bought machines and equipment to make modern clean coal that does not harm the environment. Bayer pointed out that the government had also started teaching residents how to use the equipment in various technical centers to enable them start the production of the modern coal.
Tutakuwa tunafundisha watu wetu, vikundi vya wamama, vikundi vya vijana, jinsi ya kutengeneza makaa ya kisasa, charcoal briquettes, na katika zile charcoal briquettes itaweza kusaidia kupunguza deforestation, itaweza kusaidia kupunguza mambo ya charcoal burning. Vile vile teknolojia ile tunaiona kwamba itatusaidia kuanzisha viwanda Kilifi County vya kutengeneza makaa ambavyo vitatengeneza nafasi za ajira.
An expert in energy production in the Sustainable Energy Technical Panel, Jekonaya Kitala, said that for many years the government had not paid attention to the production of clean energy.
For a long time in this county, and not only in this county, but in the country as in general, cooking energy has not been prioritized. Yet, this is where we have the biggest need. And if this country is going to achieve its Vision 2030 goals and the goals of the sustainable energy for all, that by 2030 the government aims to transition everybody into the use of modern energy services.
Residents who received training to produce modern coal said it would help them invest and reduce the problems they experience when using firewood in cooking.
Hapa kwa ajili ya mafundisho ya makaa. Tunashukuru kwa ajili ya mafundisho haya kwa sababu tulikuwa tuna shida. Tunapika na kuni, moshi, kila kitu. Ukitoka hapo kupika basi umejaa macho, yamejaa uchafu, yamejaa machozi. Lakini mafundisho haya yametufanya tukitengeneza haya makaa ambayo tumefundishwa hatutakuwa tena na moshi.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Daniel Mugo.
The death toll in Sunday's bus accident at the Abnetti Bridge has risen to 33 after 9 more bodies were recovered from the scene. The bus, operated by the Modern Coast, was carrying 45 passengers when it plunged 40 feet into Nithi River.
According to witnesses, they had a loud bang before the bus fell into the river below. The driver of the Modern Coast bus lost control of the vehicle, plunging into the river along the Meru to Mombasa highway. Eastern Regional Commissioner Evans Achoki said more passengers succumbed to injuries, raising the number of those that perished to 33. The police, member of the Kenya Red Cross Society, and locals ferried unspecified number of survivors to Chogoria and Chuka hospitals who are currently receiving treatment. By 9 p.m., police had sealed off the scene as the wreckage remained in the river. For Lunchtime News, I'm Elvis Otieno.
The Ministry of Health has partnered with Amref Kenya to sensitize residents of KBC County on the need to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Only 300,000 people out of the possible target of 700,000 aged 12 years and above have received the jab in the county.
While launching the massive vaccination drive, KBC County Healthy County Executive Committee member Sarah Omache said they are moving to avert any COVID-19 related death in the county.
In KBC, so far, we have vaccinated almost 300,000 people out of the almost 700,000 that are required to be vaccinated. And that gives us an idea that actually we have done not even 50%.
Omache noted that the county has so far recorded 3,500 COVID cases and that 243 people had succumbed from its complications.
And we pray that we don't lose any more. And what will prevent this to happen is this vaccination, because it has been proved that those who are vaccinated actually, as I said earlier, do not suffer the effects of COVID.
The county is hoping to that may residents will turn up for the vaccine.
We have enough vaccines. We have enough healthcare workers who are working with us. And the vaccination is free.
Those aged above 12 years have been urged to visit any healthcare facility and public institutions to receive the available jabs in order to strengthen their immunity. Andrew Kero for Lunchtime News.
You're watching the Lunchtime News. We are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Genova, talk to me, please. Genova, please talk to me. I'm Furna from Green Hill. Are you Genova's lover from the mortal world?
Your body has been damaged. You may not be fit to carry a baby.
No way. I must keep this baby.
Echo.
What?
都是假象。
Tachonga viasi wewe. Na isitoshe utaosha hata vyombo.
Mimi nioshe vyombo mimi?
Hata unacheza.
Mwanaume mzima mimi nioshe vyombo kwa sababu ya kukula chakula ya hoteli hii mimi.
Wait. Mogaka.
Kwa ofisi. Tangu lini mnaekea mimi michele hivi kama patko? Chukua nyama rudisha huko.
Mimi unapenda kusumbua.
Sipendi kusumbua. Leta bwana.
Kwa mtu mimi nataka uchafue.
Nani nionyeshaje jema yake saa hivi?
Finally, the wait is over. The Sundowner Sunset date is back. Saturday, 30th July 2022. The Grand Collabo, the gorgeous Catherine Donye and the wicked weekend man John Obongo Jr. together on one stage for the first time.
Meanwhile, some country.
Plus, Sir Elvis performing your favorite country hits live. All roads lead to the park in Kitengela, the land of Nyama Choma, for music, dance, food, drink, and so much fun. The Sundowner Sunset Date, the Grand Collabo. Mark the date, Saturday, 30th July 2022. Tickets cost 500 shillings at the gates.
Thank you for staying with us. Welcome back. You're watching the Lunchtime News. Now, the clergy and politicians in Gatundu have called for collaboration between the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations in order to quell the raising concerns on election preparedness. Elsewhere, the Kenya Kwanza Busia gubernatorial candidate Sakwa Bunyasi has dismissed critics labeling him as not fit to lead the county based on his age. This and more stories in the political wrap.
The clergy has called on the Directorate of Criminal Investigation boss George Kinoti and IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati to embrace dialogue in a bid to calm growing tension among Kenyans.
Watafute namna ya majadiliano. Na pia tukumbuke ya kuwa Kenya ni yetu sisi wote. Na kazi ambao tumepewa na Mungu tuifanye kwa njia ambayo ni ya maadilifu sana. Tukijua ya kuwa nchi yetu ya Kenya ikiwa na amani na ikiwa na utulivu, hakuna mtu ambaye hatanufaika.
His sentiments were echoed by Jubilee senatorial aspirant George Maara and MP aspirant Joyce Wanjiku Ngori, who urged for collaboration to eliminate doubts about election preparedness.
And I hope that this is something that IBC will address and come out clean, because that is very, very, very important. Nobody, either those vying for political positions or those that are elect, would want to see a situation that we will kind of elicit emotions.
Tungeomba IBC isimame imara, washikane na DCI na watu wengine wote wanaweza shikana kwa hiyo njia, waongee pamoja, waangalie nini inaweza kuwa mbaya, kama hii mambo ni ukweli ama sio ukweli, na ndio mwananchi apate haki yake na wale wanasimama vitu wapate haki zao.
Meanwhile, Busia gubernatorial candidate Sakwa Bunyasi has dismissed critics labeling him as not fit to lead the county based on his age. Bunyasi says that he has what it takes to develop the county.
Sisi tunaangazia tu kitu kimoja. Tutafanyaje ndio tupeleke watu wetu mahali ambapo wanasiasa wanasema Canaan, nitaka kutumia Canaan kuboresha maisha yetu.
Elsewhere, Mandera gubernatorial candidate Adan Mohammed has promised to improve the livelihoods of residents if he is elected in the August poll.
That our manifesto is anchored on is the provision of social services that relates to issues about water and sanitation, number one. Number two relates to issues of health services, medical services for our people. Also on issues of education. What is it that we need to do to deal with educational issues?
The former cabinet secretary who was launching his manifesto to area residents said he'll deal with two key pillars, education and health. Samuel Karaoke, Lunchtime News.
Now, the National Transport and Safety Authority has halted all the operations by the Modern Coast Bus following the accident that occurred at the Nethi Bridge yesterday, killing more than 20 people, and the death toll number has raised to 33. The National Transport and Safety Authority says the law applies to all the 31 vehicles, that they should halt operations in all the routes. This as investigations into the crash begins. Now, at least 200 youth from Olmoran area in Laikipia County have held a peace walk to rally residents and other young people to embrace peace and cohesion, especially during this time that the country is gearing up for the next general election. The youth walked for several kilometers within Olmoran town and neighboring villages, covering areas that have in the recent past experienced cases of banditry attacks and livestock thefts.
During the walk, the youth and the volunteers called on Kenyans to uphold peace before, during and after the general election. They carried posters and adorned in white to signify peace and sang patriotic songs. Olmoran Assistant County Commissioner Julius Nyaga said that the peace walk was necessary to engage and involve the youth, who are mostly used by politicians to cause violence.
Tumeungana shirika la St. Martin's, Catholic Olmoran na National Government Administrative Officers pamoja na wanayuthi wa Olmoran kuhakikisha kwamba tumezunguka katika Olmoran Division tukiwahimiza ya kwamba wadumishe amani hii wakati wa uchaguzi, kabla ya uchaguzi na pia baada ya uchaguzi.
At the same time, Esther Maina, a programs officer with St. Martin, Kenya, cautioned young people against using social media to propagate hatred and incite violence.
Tumejiweka kipaumbele kuhakikisha amani itadumu, haswa kwa mambo matatu. Jambo la kwanza, tumeamua kwamba sisi wenyewe hatutakubali kutumika kutoa furugu na tena pia kutoa fujo. Tena jambo la pili, tumeamua kwamba tutaenda katika vijiji zetu kuweza kueneza mambo ya amani na kuongea na wanarika wenzetu. Jambo la tatu, tumeamua kwamba tutaweza kutumia mitandao ya kijamii kueneza mambo ya amani.
For Lunchtime News, I'm Cheryl Abadi.
Thank you for staying with us. Time for Channel 1 Business News. Titanium miner Base Resources saw its sales surge 44.7% to 10.8 billion shillings in quarter ended June. The company says sales rose from 7.4 billion shillings in 2021, driven by a surge in the international prices of the commodities used in the process. The Australian-based mineral sands producer is the owner of Base Titanium, which owns the Kwale County located titanium mines.
The company says mining operations continued on the South Dune ore body, with mined tonnage lower than planned due to an 8-day stoppage in operations caused by flash flooding last month. The heavy mineral grade of ore mined in the quarter was higher at 4.06% against 3.84% in the same period last year. The Kwale-based miner continues to benefit from a global supply disruption of mineral sands production, which lifted the price of titanium by 54.8% in the quarter ended March from a year earlier. Bumamani project during the quarter, extending Kwale operations mine life by 13 months to December 2024. The company says the Bumamani project will be mined concurrently with the Kwale South Dune deposit to maximize mining rates and better manage tailings. Procurement and construction commenced during the quarter, with mining on the North Dune scheduled for March 2023. The company says prospecting license applications lodged for the Kuranze region, about 70 kilometers west of Kwale operations, together with applications for an area south of Lamu, is yet to be approved. The state imposed a moratorium on the issuance of prospecting licenses in place since November 2019 and has affected the progress of all license applications. Alan Oko, Lunchtime News.
The government is looking to document and digitize indigenous knowledge from communities across the country. Officials from 13 counties have been trained in partnership between the National Museums of Kenya and the county governments to ensure that the information is preserved for future generations.
The training held at Kakamega is set to see that indigenous information is documented, referenced and digitized. National Museums of Kenya officials said the project is set to benefit generations through protection of traditional knowledge. In the same breath, Kakamega County has set aside funds to renovate Kayega Art Gallery with an aim of working with indigenous people and local communities who have the knowledge to help preserve the rich, diverse cultural heritage. Meanwhile, Airtel Kenya has purchased additional spectrum which will further aid its 4G expansion in the market for both mobile data and fixed home broadband services. The spectrum worth $40 million will give the capacity needed to allow for future 5G rollout. Airtel Africa posted its Airtel Kenya service quality score of 65.45% last year, up from 52% in 2020. The sharp improvement by Airtel Kenya was linked to several improvements to its network to meet the regulatory minimum threshold of the quality of services provided. The license is valid from July 2022 for a period of 15 years. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Teresa Mutai.
Zimbabwe is expected to introduce a gold coin this week to tame resurging inflation and ease a biting shortage of American dollars. The coins will be sold through banks from Monday at the prevailing international price for gold. The coin, whose market price right now is at $1,725, will be convertible to cash and be traded globally.
Physical possession of the coin and be issued a certificate of ownership with the option of placing the asset in the safety of a bank vault. The government says the innovation aims at supporting the economy at a time of increasing inflation and depreciation of the Zimbabwean dollar. The number of coins that will be minted has not been disclosed. Zimbabwe is a major source of gold and it will be made from locally mined ore. Inflation in Zimbabwe has risen to the highest official rate in the world. Meanwhile, the European Union is seeking additional gas supplies from Nigeria as the bloc prepares for potential Russian supply cuts. Nigeria has been improving security in the Niger Delta and planned to reopen the Trans-Niger pipeline after August, which would yield more gas exports to Europe. The EU imports 14% of its total LNG supplies from Nigeria, and there is potential to double this amount. Oil and gas input in Nigeria is being throttled by theft and vandalism of pipelines, leaving gas producer Nigeria LNG Limited terminal at Bonny Island operating at 60% capacity. Finally, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah held talks with visiting Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in Cairo, where they discussed bilateral relations and regional and global issues of mutual concern. The Egyptian president hailed the growing cooperation between Cairo and Moscow, which is exemplified by the Russian projects in Egypt, such as the El Deba nuclear power plant that is currently being built, and the establishment of a Russian industrial zone or the Suez Canal axis, and other joint projects in various fields. With regards to the ongoing Russian-Ukrainian conflict, Egypt renewed its call for a political settlement of the crisis. It is Lavrov's first African tour since the beginning of the Russian-Ukrainian conflict that started in late February. The tour is scheduled to include Ethiopia, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Embattled Chinese real estate giant Evergrande is expected to deliver a preliminary restructuring plan this week following the exit of two bosses. The firm says its chief executive and finance head have resigned after an internal probe found that they misused about $2 billion in loans. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the globe.
Evergrande has more than $300 billion in liabilities and defaulted on its debt last December. Its shares have fallen by more than 75% over the last year in Hong Kong and have been suspended from trading for months. The crisis has spooked traders who fear contagion in China's property sector. Evergrande said it found that Chief Executive Xia Haijun and Chief Financial Officer Pan Darong were involved in diverting $2 billion in loans secured by its property services unit to the wider group. The firm said in a filing to the Hong Kong Stock Exchange that Xian and Pan had resigned because of their involvement in the arrangement of the pledges. Meanwhile, shops in France will be ordered to close doors when using air conditioning and limit neon lighting in a bid to cut energy wastes. These rules are already in place in some areas, will be rolled out across France. Energy cost in Europe has spiraled since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Shop will be fined up to $765 for breaking the air conditioning rule. 2 decrees on energy waste are expected to be issued in the coming days. The first will widen the ban on illuminated advertising to between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m., while the second will ban shops from having their doors open while their air conditioning and heating are working. The bans on neon signs is already in force in areas with population under 800,000. Tesla boss Elon Musk has denied having an affair with Nicole Shanahan, the wife of Google co-founder Sergey Brin. Musk's comment came after the Wall Street Journal reported that his friendship with Brin had ended over the alleged affair. Musk said he is still friends with Brin and that they were at the party last night together. Citing people familiar with the matter, the Wall Street Journal claimed that Musk was engaged in a brief affair late last year with Shanahan. This prompted Brin to file for divorce earlier this year and ended the long friendship between the two high-profile technology billionaires. Terry Njenga, Lunchtime News.
All right, time for Channel 1 Sports News. Kenya finished 4th in the 2022 World Athletics Championship after clinching a silver and a bronze on the final day of the global event, which came to a close this morning in Oregon, United States. The United States tops the medal standings after bagging 13 gold medals, followed by Ethiopia in the second spot with 4 gold medals. Jamaica settled for the 3rd position after winning 2 gold medals.
Kenya's Jacob Crop clocked 13 minutes, 9.98 seconds to win the silver medal early today in the men's 5,000 meters race.
Round are losing theirs, then yours is the world and everything in it.
after finishing second behind Norway's Jakob Ingebrigtsen. The Norwegian clocked 13 minutes and 9.24 seconds, while Oscar Chelimo of Uganda finished third. In the women's 800 meters race, Kenya's Mary Mora clocked a personal best time of 1 minute 56.71 seconds to finish third behind United States' Athing Mu and Kelly Hodgkinson of Great Britain.
Going to become the world champion. Hodgkinson less than a step behind, and Mary Mora completes the podium for the bronze.
The focus now shifts to the Commonwealth Games, which will start in Birmingham, United Kingdom this Thursday. Alongside the Commonwealth Games, the World Athletics Under-20 Championships will be hosted in Santiago de Cali in Colombia from 1st of August to the 6th of the same. The Games will be televised live on KBC Channel 1.
Indeed, the Games will be shown right here on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner. Sydney McLaughlin anchored the United States to win gold in the women's 4x100 400 meters at the 2022 World Athletics Championship, which came to a close early today in Oregon. The USA also won the men's 4x400 meters relay to top the medals standing off the 9-day global events.
Enjoyed the athletics here. Savour this.
Sydney McLaughlin guided the USA women to win the 4x400 relay in Oregon early today. McLaughlin, who produced an electrifying world record-breaking display to win the 400 meters hurdles on Friday, stormed home on the final day as the US quartet won in 3 minutes 17.79 seconds. Jamaica won silver in 3 minutes 20.74 seconds, while Britain took bronze. The USA victory assured Allyson Felix of a record 20th World Championship medal. Felix did not race in the final but took part in the heats on Saturday.
Finish for Sydney McLaughlin and the Americans, 3:17.7. The Jamaica take a richly deserved silver.
The United States also won the men's 4x4 meters relay. The US quartet of Elijah Godwin, individual 400 gold medalist Michael Norman, Bryce Dedmon and champion Allison clocked 2 minutes 56.17 for victory. Jamaica took silver with Belgium claiming a bronze medal.
Men's programming style, a fabulous silver for Jamaica, and in his 7th final for Belgium, Kevin Borley.
Bomet FC has earned a promotion to the Football Kenya Federation Premier League after being crowned the 2022 National Super League champions. Meanwhile, Kibra Girls soccer team secured a place in the Kenya Women's Premier League after beating Royal Starlets from Kitale 4-3 through penalty shootouts to win the 2022 FKF Women's Division 1 title.
Kibera Girls Soccer have secured a place in the Kenya Women's Premier League after being crowned FKF Women's Division 1 champions. The team beat Royal Starlets from Kitale 4-3 through penalty shootout. The club head coach Ramadhan Vijago, on his part, confirmed that his charges are targeting big names as they seek to remodel their squad ahead of the 2022-2023 Kenya Women's Premier League season. Elsewhere, Acapella United emerged as the winners of the Waiacha Dirago Foundation Roysambo Soccer Tournament after beating Zimmerman Youth FC 3-1. Zimmerman Queens defeated Githurai Starlets 2-0 in the girls category. Waiainya Dirago, who is the sponsor of the tournament, said is committed to ensuring public utility fields for schools are upgraded to the required standards. Winners and all 44 teams which took part in the event got uniform and cash prizes from the sponsors. Daniel Mwendwa.
America's Tony Finau won the Golf Open by 3 shots to take his 3rd PGA Tour title. The 32-year-old, ranked 17th in the world, fired 6 birdies to card a 4-under par final round at TPC Twin Cities in Blaney, Minnesota. South Korea's Sang Jae Yang, Argentina's Emilio Grillo tied for 2nd at 14 under, while Scott Piercy was joined 4th after losing his overnight 4-shot leg. English pair Danny, Willinette, and Cullen Terren were joined 7th on 10 under.
Up and go. Kurt, I have a theory.
What do you got?
You know, he struggles with his putter, right? It's kind of like Shaq shooting free throws. His hands are so big. I think it's hard for him to do the little things in the game.
7.8. He needs to start making a couple now.
Unit 3M.
There you go.
All right, so we've come to the end of Channel 1 Lunchtime News. Thank you so much for your company. For more details on Just Add News and many more, do log on to www.kbc.co.ke. Be sure to catch up with our team at Uhuru Gardens Museum. This as President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to officiate the opening of the museum. My name is Irene Muchuma Odem. On sign language interpretation, we had Lensa Odingo, and now we have Anne Wangeshi. Thank you for your time. Good afternoon.